Welcome to CosmoFactory, a podcast by Cosmoprof Worldwide Bologna, where we explore the entire cosmetics, personal care, and fragrance industry supply chain. I'm your host, Deanna Utrusky, and here at CosmoFactory, we look beyond the trends to discover the ideas, initiatives, and innovations that are truly advancing beauty. Let's get started. This episode is about the grooming market and premium shave products. It's about a new brand strategy and a new business model for personal care. About device design, custom manufacturing, and the mindset of a challenger brand. Allegra Violante, co-founder and CEO at Fler, is with me now in the CosmoFactory recording booth at Cosmopac. Allegra, welcome to CosmoFactory.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to speak with you. If I may, Fler is very much reinventing the shave category in that your brand has made the razor into something stylish, something that consumers want to buy, want to own. But introduce us to the brand. When did you get started? Where did you get started? Where are you now?
I was living in the US. I was getting my MBA there. And I was surrounded by incredible beauty, makeup, haircare brands that made products that I really wanted to feel, to own, to experience, to gift. But when it came to the shaving category, I couldn't have the same experience. Shaving for me was something I had to get done as fast as possible. Really go through it and forget about it. And especially for a person with very sensitive skin like me, it was sometimes even painful and not a pleasant experience at all. So I had like this question in my mind about how to make shaving actually feel good. And that took me back to my roots, to my Italian roots. I'm originally from Italy. And Italy has this DNA in fashion, in food, in design, where we can make something functional, but at the same time beautiful and nice to experience. So that was the question that made me come back from the US, come back to Italy, and decide to bring Fler on.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fantastic. And I like what you said about making it feel good, right? And I because when I heard you say that, it made me think about literal touch, right? Having sensitive skin, you want this experience to sensorially feel good, but then that emotional component, right? I feel good about it. I feel good using the product. Like, this is an emotionally good experience. I like that, and I want to mention, I think it was episode 93, I got to speak with the Olaplex CEO, Amanda Baldwin, and one of the things she talked about was the market opportunity for premium hair, Olaplex, and premium sun care. She's previously worked with Supergoop. And I see a real parallel here with what you've created in terms of premium product in personal grooming. Can you talk more about that opportunity? What is a premium shave brand?
I believe it's a brand that is able to turn grooming products from commodities to products that you want to experience, as you said, and that you feel an emotional connection to it. So every time I went in front of supermarket shelf and I saw the grooming category, I saw these pink razors and blue razors and mostly plastic, no emotions connected to them. I believe there was an opportunity there to develop something that felt different. So with Fler, we developed premium razors in aluminum that you match with your bathroom and that feel different. And then we develop a whole routine around it from pre-shave to post-shave to really create that sensorial experience that was very, very important for us. We are in a market that is huge and it's dominated by very few players. So it's not something easy to do, definitely. But it's something that I saw a big opportunity on it. And right now I feel like the market is saying, okay, we see space for this brand, and I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you mentioned there the design of the razor itself as well as the materials. Can you talk a little bit about creating that? And I'm imagining there was some manufacturing challenges that the listeners along the supply chain would be interested to hear about.
Yeah, I could never have imagined razors were so hard to make and so complicated.
'Cause yours is, I just want to clarify, I guess yours is unique, right?
Yeah,
There's
it's
not
a custom design. So we developed the mold, we developed like everything around it. And it was a very long process that I must say we did it in quite a short time, because it has taken 1 year of development, so it's quite fast. But it was very hard because there are very few suppliers in this particular sector, and we wanted to have everything custom. So the more custom you go, the harder it's going to be. But we were very lucky in the end to find the right supplier and to be able to work with our own R&D team and with the Design Group Italia team as well to really develop something unique. But it was very challenging.
Sure. And can you describe the Fler razor? I want to see the design, even if I can't look at it.
Yeah, so our razor is made in aluminum. It comes in 5 different vibrant colors. The first one was Sicily, so it's orange color. It's the brand color. It has this design that we wanted to resemble a jewel. So everything started from like vintage razors inspiration, combined with Italian jewelry. So
and let me just jump in. When we think about vintage razors, you're talking about, again, something that's not disposable, something that's an object in your home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we were inspired by like that vintage safety razors that barber shops had, and at the same time we wanted to make it modern at the same time. So really being able to match that vintage vibe with modern colors and hues, and we wanted it so it has this lantern on the top. We call it the lantern. It's a like, I don't know how to describe it.
It's almost, I think it's like a bead almost, isn't it? A textured bead.
It does. Yeah, it does.
A larger bead.
Yeah, exactly. And then you always keep the handle and you only change the cartridges. The cartridges are 5-blade cartridges. They are all surrounded by a lubricated ring, so they are very suitable for sensitive skin. We have a patented technology on the blade. But yeah, it was really designed, and we also add the shower holder to keep it in the shower because we wanted people to expose it. We wanted people to, when we interview, especially women, and we ask, where do you keep your razor? They said, behind everything else, and it has to be hidden. While we wanted this product to be displayed, to be enjoyed, to be matched with your bathroom, and so that was the inspiration for it.
Excellent. And you mentioned they're replacing the razor heads. It puts me in the mind to ask you about pricing. How do you situate this? Again, we're thinking about premium products, and your branding. I feel like everything about Fler is it's creative, right? There's something different about almost every aspect of this brand. Talk to me about the pricing model. How does that go?
Yeah, we define ourselves premium yet accessible.
Okay.
So in terms of pricing, we are a bit higher, but not that much. A few euros higher than most brands, even plastic razors. Our is not a plastic razor, but still it's very accessible. It's on the 20-25 range. And then we decided to be as good as possible on the refill cartridges pricing, because what we observed in the market is that the usual strategy is to price the razor very low and then price the cartridges very high.
Okay.
Because you are committed once you have the razor. For us, it's a bit like the opposite. So we decided to price the razor a bit higher because it's the product that you buy once, and then be as competitive as possible on the refill cartridges. So that was what we decided to do.
Yeah. No, I like that. And maybe it's already clear to listeners, but there's so much unique about the branding as well. And you mentioned earlier, shopping for the plastic razor in a discount retailer. It's pink, it's blue, it's plastic. I have questions about
the gender of your consumer, of how you're building brand loyalty. Without branding, you described the razor and you didn't mention, a logo or the brand name. Tell me more.
Yeah. So Fler is a genderless brand. We wanted to be developed for everybody. So the color we chose is the orange. Fler is orange. And I have to say that the branding was done even before we had the full design for the razor, because I thought the branding was so important to be different on shelf, to be different online, and to be really able to create something around it. So we worked a lot on the branding, and not just on the visual of it, but also on how the brand should feel people, how the brand should talk, how the brand should behave, and what values the brand should support. So that was very, very important for us. In terms of consumers, right now we have around 70% women, 30% men.
Okay.
But we are very happy that this percentage is going to grow in always more similar way. Still, I believe the woman segment was very much underserved compared to the men. So it was important for us to focus on that side at first. But we're very happy to have customers that sometimes what happens and makes me really happy is that a woman buys it for herself, and then the fiance or the husband sees it and say, I want it too as well, and so they get another one, and they have these two razors next to each other in the shower, and very happy about it.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. That's so nice to think about. You talk a lot about their maybe gender agnostics, right, for your brand. When we've spoken before, you talked about this idea of products for a shameless world. Can you say more about that idea?
Yeah, it was something that we discovered when we were speaking to potential customers, that shaving is something that a lot of people feel a bit ashamed of. It's more that they are ashamed of body hair. And so shaving is connected to body hair, and that creates this whole taboo situation where you don't talk about it, you don't show the products you use to shave, you don't expose them, you don't talk about it with your friends about which razor are you using.
You don't even acknowledge that.
Yeah, no, it's something that you ignore, but because there is this shame around it. So basically, I really wanted to develop something that could take that shame away. So for a shameless world comes from the fact that we have this goal of making every object feel appreciated and feel worth of being showed off and being exposed, and also to develop a really different communication in terms of how we speak about body hair, how we speak about bodies, how we speak about people, and it was very important for us. We had to do so much education around this whole category because people didn't know things.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
It's there are so many taboos around it. So the fact that many people are convinced that when you shave, your hair is gonna grow thicker. It's not going to grow thicker. The thickness depends on your DNA. It's just which part of the hair you are cutting. So it's something we had to educate a lot onto, and also to explain the routine steps that we developed from the shaving foam to the aftershave, how you should shave, in which version of the hair you should shave based on what type of skin do you have. And this was very important. It's a big part of what we are doing.
And you were doing a gesture there. It really is the direction of gesture for shaving that can make a difference as well.
It does.
And you're educating on that. So interesting. And you mentioned there when I asked about shameless, speaking directly with the customer, and then you have told us about a few of the other products in your portfolio. But of course, like many brands, you continue to introduce new products, but you're also continuing to talk to your customer. Can you say a little bit about that project?
Yeah, it's so important for us to be able to connect very close to our community. And we do that also when we develop new products. But from the very, very early phases, we created many groups and like had all of our potential like best customers on it and have them try the products while we are developing them to understand if it's something that they would like, that we would use, and what type of corrections we can make to make the product even better. And that's something that was very fashionable to do it sometimes, but we keep doing it every day, and it's so important. And we recently actually decided not to launch a product because we were like not fully convinced of the product. We wanted our community to test it, and after their feedback, we said no, we are not going to launch it this way. And it's so important for us to have that feedback. So we do it through every channel that we have of communication, through social, but not only social. We are here at CosmoProf. We are doing so many events for our community, so many activation, games, and things. It's so important for us to have that relationship, and we are cultivating it. And now that we are expanding a lot into retail, it's important for us to keep having those touch points that we always had.
Sure. I'm glad you mentioned retail there, because I know you started the brand with a very specific retail strategy, but you are, may I say, going more mainstream. Tell us about that evolution.
Yeah, so we started where the category didn't exist. So we wanted Fler to be the first brand for that type of retail locations that couldn't cover the shaving category at the time, because they didn't have a brand that was not very a mass market brand.
It makes me think when you said consumers were hiding the razor in their shower or their bathroom, the retailers didn't even want it.
No, they didn't want it at all, of course. And it was not feasible for them to have those products in their location. I'm talking about department stores. I'm talking about perfumeries, premium pharmacies, cosmetic shops, concept stores. So we started there. And we were very happy to build the category where the category didn't exist. Right now we are expanding to the channels where the category already exists. We are launching DM, so it's a few retailers we are launching in that specific premium drugstores, I would define. And it's very important for us now to be able to reach more customers, and also to be able for our products and for our field cartridges to be found closest to everybody's place. So it's important to expand that way. But we are very attentive and very cautious in not losing the uniqueness that we have developed. And even in retail distribution, on how we want to express the brand, it's very important for us. So yeah, it's growing, but still cautious.
And remind me, Fler's been in business how long?
We launched in 2022, basically, was the first year. So,
a few years.
Yeah.
And are you starting to see competitors in your space?
For sure. It's a good sign. It means we are showing something off. And yes, there are, but I feel there is space. I feel there is so much space. So it's not something that worries us, but it encourages us in, there is space, and we are growing that space. So
Yeah, no, it's another signal that the market is ready. That's fantastic. I guess I want to ask you about the future. Can you tell us where grooming is going next? Maybe through what your brand is doing, or maybe just what you're seeing in the larger marketplace?
I see something where the sustainability of products is not something we can ignore anymore. And I know there is a lot of talking around this, but I believe it's beginning to feel very bad for customers to buy this large pack of disposable razors. It's something they don't feel good anymore about it. So I think that side is gonna disappear step by step. And I feel that customers are always more attentive to brands and who are the brands they're buying from. I see that as a tendency not only on the shaving category, in the whole beauty and consumer goods category, but in regards to the shaving, I believe we will always have body hair, and it's about finding new ways of also being able to live with it. We embrace a philosophy where if you want to shave, we are here and we give you the best possible products to do so. But if you don't want to shave, we're here as well and we support you. So that's something important. There is this body hair movement around the world, and we're very happy to see that as well. So it happened.
Yeah, it's so interesting. You're describing really the acknowledgement, again, of body hair, right? And then people's personal choices about how they do or do not groom. It's really a sort of brand affinity, isn't it? It's beyond, I don't want to say beyond loyalty, but it's almost separate from a brand loyalty project in that they want to have some kind of relationship with a brand. I guess I'm kind of hung up on this because in some ways it feels like a very unique concept in shave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there anything else maybe that your brand is doing or that you're seeing potential for there?
I would say that in terms of how we are really connecting in terms of loyalty with the consumers is really making sure that what we say, it's also reflected on our brand actions. So it's not something that we just say, but it's also something that then we represent on every image that comes out from us on our products. So it's very important to be able to do so. And in terms of community and loyalty, it's extremely important for us to be able to be very coherent in what we built from the beginning. It becomes harder when you grow to commit to things as you did when you were very, very small. But still, it's something very important that we are doing, and I hope we will be able to do always.
Yes. Well, Allegra, I think it's easy. We've certainly done it for years to take everyday products like razors, maybe deodorants or toothpaste, these types of products for granted, really, and overlook the opportunity for innovation. You've shown us how much potential this sometimes boring category really has, how exciting it can be. I thank you for all your insights and for being my guest today on CosmoFactory.
Thank you so much for hosting me. It was real pleasure to speak to you, Diana, and very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for listening. If you find the CosmoFactory podcast useful, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review and share your thoughts so even more cosmetic industry professionals can discover the CosmoFactory. I'm Deanna Utrusky. Please join me again next Tuesday for a new episode of the CosmoFactory podcast.